worst times of my life because I managed to not have a weekend or a vacation for 5 years of my life because I was in the office doing everything possible to make these titles as bug-free. And if you know any of the titles that ship from there, they are massive and they are an undertaking. And everything that we work in at Capcom, we try to strive for that same work ethic and that same drive to make games better. So moving on to Capcom, I realized my dream of moving to California. Moving to the San Francisco Bay Area is amazing. Go Niners, go A's, go A's, go Giants. Even though I'm a Met fan. Thank you. Yankees are good too, but I love you. I got love for anything New York. So, but no, being at Capcom was great for me. So I just want to tell everybody, as Sandy said and Christine said, hit me up on LinkedIn. Match with anyone up here will give you advice on any particular role you want to fill for your dreams and your goals in this industry, which is growing at an exponential rate. So I wouldn't be surprised if 80 to 90% of you guys walk out here and hopefully become inspired to do whatever you want to do in your respective industry. So if you want to leave here and be a graphic artist, but not be a graphic artist for games, and you want to get into art, whatever, at least you take something away from our experience and our sort of, I guess, know-how and the stuff that we've done for years to come. So that's pretty much it. I think I went over my time. I'm done.
Good. Thank you.
Good. Here's Mike Lund.
Moving on. Hey, Mike, who's not from New York?
No, not from New York.
Yeah!
Actually, the opposite. This is really the opposite of New York. I'm actually from the middle of nowhere in Illinois. Just kind of for the story. Starting off, I'm actually the marketing coordinator for the North American territory, which is Canada, Brazil, US, Mexico. So a little bit more than the US. Basically what we do is we work with all these fine folks here, strategy, marketing, we have product, we have creative services, Francis, we have all these guys in the community as well, not to list any names, but creating all-encompassing marketing plans, promotional plans, whether it be making stuff for events, whether it be the hats that you're wearing, making POP displays with you guys, doing packaging stuff with Liz, community plans with you guys as well, doing all of our streaming content. Basically, making big marketing promotional boom around all fronts to make sure the game is seen, people are excited and know what's coming. So I'm pretty new. I'm probably 3.5 years into Capcom. This is my first job in the industry. First job out of college, actually. So my story starts a little bit before, probably I want to say 2004, just getting into college. Really didn't know, I was in the middle of nowhere in Illinois. Really didn't know what I wanted to do, but I was a huge gamer, a huge Capcom fan. But I wanted to get into games, really didn't know how to do it. So, like a bunch of people, I'm not good at programming. I tried that thing. Tried graphic design, that was kind of one thing. There was a couple of specialty schools in Iowa, and looked into those. Didn't end up really panning out that well, so I just kind of did the motions, going through college for a couple of years, exploring different degrees, did anything from electrical engineering to music performance, like classical guitar for a couple of years, to education, to business administration, to finance. So I was wavering all over the place. Ended up in a school in Wisconsin with a business degree with emphasis in finance. Unfortunately, had the displeasure of graduating in about 2008 when the financial meltdown was happening. So finding an internship, which I actually had to have to get my degree, kind of a challenge at that time. Searching through the summer of 2009, early 2009, around May, like I mentioned, impossible to find an internship, and I had to have that to get my degree. Finally found something that was like surfing the internet at home. It was an investor relations position at Activision, and I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. Video games? Like, get back into that way. Super excited, super energized. What I noticed is, like, rather than working in banking and investments and stuff like that, I was motivated. Like, I'm calling this lady, I still remember her name, HR, Claudia Franco at Activision. She never responded. I never talked to her my entire life, but, like, she made an impression on me because it's like, how do you not answer my calls, respond to my emails, kind of thing. Stalker. And if she's out there, I'm sorry. We're like, but being persistent is key for sure. I ended up from there kind of being energizing, like, you know what, I think gaming is going to be good for me because I'm getting super excited, getting super passionate about what I want to do. But then again, I had a business degree, a finance degree, so am I going to do finance? What's going to go here? I actually found a couple internship postings up on Capcom, up on Activision, applied to Microsoft and Sony, just kind of span the gamut. Ended up not really hearing back from just about anybody, but kept with it, kept following up and stuff like that. But it was kind of like, as a gamer, like, on the forums all the time, all the community blogs, talking with random people about, what game came out, is it cool, is it bad, is it good, what should I buy? And ended up on a forum called Off Topic, where they had a small gaming forum, not really big. But it was right around when Super Street Fighter 2 HD Remix came out, and some guy was talking about the game quite a bit, and he's like, I'm a producer over at Capcom kind of thing, and I was like, oh, okay. And it's like, well, I applied there a couple months ago, it's like, for this, an internship position. And they're like, well, I see you're from Illinois, I don't know if they exactly take you all the way out here just for an internship position. But I was like, come on. He had badgered him, I'm sorry. He still works at Capcom, his name is Ray. He's still one of the producers with us. But eventually I just like, well, when it comes down to it, it's like, can you please hook my resume up with someone who's going to look at it? I know they get tons of resumes a day, all of our HR people, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do as well. Just get a lot of people just asking for jobs. How do we get your job, kind of thing. A couple weeks later, got a call from our former director of marketing, Mike, just basically like, hey, we'd like you to come down. And I was living in Illinois at the time. I was actually not being in the hospital, but I was at a hospital and I was kind of freaking out because I couldn't get reception. I got a phone message. It's basically like, hey, we want you to come down to California and work in video games. And I was like, freaking out. So, kind of a life achievement unlocked there. I packed up all my stuff in my car. And like literally 2 days later, I'm ready to go. I had not really tied down to much here. I'm excited to kind of go pursue my dream. Drove all the way from Illinois to California, which took about 3 full days of 12-hour driving. Got a lot to see around the country. It's pretty flat going there, but
Corn.
yeah, Nebraska's not a good one to drive through.
Oh, no.
There's not even corn there. But from there, I started as an intern, working on just basic marketing stuff, doing research, working on little bits of campaigns, like projects divided up. I actually worked with Matt, wrote Angel Thumb for the first time. Worked on anything from Mega Man to Sengoku Kusara to Find a Commando, Dead Rising, Street Fighter a little bit. And then now I'm really focused. The last project I worked on was Resident Evil 6. So
Available now.
Available now. Thank you, Francis. Sorry, he's helping us all out here. But yeah, it's amazing. I still think it's amazing what I've done. It may not seem much to you, but it's one thing where it's kind of staying passionate, realizing your dream, like never give up. It also helps, and you guys have mentioned a bunch of times too, just kind of like talk to us. It really helps who you know. Sandy kind of pushed on that a lot, but talk to us at conventions. You guys got a great opportunity. I never had this living in the middle of nowhere growing up to come out here and talk with people about living in the video games or working in the video game industry. Or living. It is pretty much living.
Yeah.
It seems like sleeping under your desk sometimes. But basically, yeah, just stay connected. Talk with us on social media. Definitely, you have a great opportunity to talk with us at the booth or here. And just like stay connected, stay passionate, and you'll end up getting what you want. So,
Okay.
with that, I'm going to pass it to Chris.
So Chris is one of the newest members of the Capcom team, just joined recently. Chris.
Yeah, I've only been here a couple of weeks, and I basically got this job through luck and knowing people, but I'm going to fall back on the questions I got when I worked editorial because I knew no one and had no experience. And it's kind of applicable to anything you do. But right now I work at Capcom Unity, I post videos, make videos, streams, articles, like basically exactly what I did in the games, journalism, business, but I walked the Capcom beat. But how I got in the business, I got an internship. Pretty much everybody will hire you if you work for free. Work for free. Seriously, like an internship will get you in the door almost anywhere you never thought was possible. And so I did that. I got a degree in English with no aspirations to go write for video game magazines. In Florida, there's none of those there. And I got an internship. Turns out I'm okay at this. I can do that. But everybody wants to write about video games. And nobody wants to leave their position writing about video games. So it was sort of like, what I did is to make myself irreplaceable is look for holes. And this is like 05, 06. Nobody knows what social media is. Nobody knows what a podcast is. Nobody wants to jump in front of the camera and talk. So I did all of those things. I have no experience in any of them, no formal training. But this video, No Look Right, into Google eventually will teach you how to do exactly what you need to do. So I made myself irreplaceable. It's like you can hire somebody else to write reviews, but you're going to lose your podcast, you're going to lose your videos, you're going to lose the guy talking to your community because, not to throw them under the bus, they're a magazine company. They think if they respond to one letter, we're done here, right? You don't need to talk anymore. No, you just talk to people. But I just like working, and if you're tenacious enough to stay with something, find a gap to fill, odds are someone will end up hiring you because you can do the job to 3 or 4 people. And I've been doing it long enough to where like I can do most of the stuff fairly easy. I didn't say great, but
Next year, actually, this panel will just be Chris sitting here.
Yeah.